All right, we are live and it's Tuesday Talks. John Robinson here. We're going to give everybody a couple minutes to jump on for our regularly scheduled live stream that we do every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Except for today, we're going to do a little bit of a variation. We've got some special guests coming in. I'm going to introduce these guys in just a minute. So you guys hang tight. I wanted to just let everybody know before we get started that, or while we're getting started, that we have not only special guests today, but we also got a special prize. I'm going to be giving away a ticket to a very special event. We're going to hear talk about that here in just a minute. But here's the catch, okay? You guys know me. I love to give stuff away. I love to help. I believe in not just the idea of being a go-giver, but I actually believe in the practice of being a go-giver, right? So we can't talk about it unless we're going to do it. So I'm going to give a ticket away to a really, really special event that's going to be happening in September. So you got plenty of time to schedule. It's going to be in September at the waterfront in Vancouver. It's going to be amazing. We're going to talk more about it in just a minute, but here's the catch, okay? The ticket that I'm giving away today on today's event is going to go to a live participant, and I'm going to give it to the best live participant. Okay, so you say, what does that mean? Well, here's what it means. It means I'm going to give it to somebody who I perceive as the best participant. That's what it means. Come on, guys. It's my show. I get to do what I want to. So I'm going to give it to who I believe is the most active. So if you are, got a little call coming in there. Let's block that off. So if you are actively watching this today and you are participating, meaning that you're commenting, you're interacting, you're asking questions, you're dropping emojis, you're sharing this and broadcasting it. This would be really, really cool if you were broadcasting it to maybe some of your different social media channels. Andy, I see you on here. Cool. Andy's already got a head start on everybody. Andy with the Renovate guys right there in Vancouver. He is your everyday, everybody's handyman. He's awesome. He specializes in bathroom remodels, quick and very, very beautiful bathroom remodels, tile work, all kinds of stuff. So Andy's already got a head start, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Just getting in there and participating by posting, by sharing. We want to make sure that we get this out to everybody possible. So today, I don't want to burn up too much time. I know that we still have people that are jumping on, and always there's people that are on going to be later on. They're going to come in here. So we understand too. Also, if you guys are watching this as a recording, don't worry, I've got a prize for you too. We'll talk more about that later on. Just keep an eye out on the comments and make sure you watch this all the way to the very end. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring on some of our guests today. And I don't normally do guest interviews. You guys know that I normally just get on here and we pick a particular topic. It might be something that I'm dealing with. I think last week we talked about my very first deal. And I do have to make a little bit of a disclaimer. Last week, I told you guys about my first deal. If you guys are on right now and you watch that, see if you remember, my very first deal that I did was back in 2000, and it would have been in 2015-ish. But then that was an accidental flip. You guys know about that. But then my first deal that I did intentionally is what I talked about last week. So we talked about the first deal that I did intentionally, that is on purpose, knowing that I was doing it as an investor. I was making a purchase. I had the property had the potential to make a profit return. I told you guys last week that I picked up a property in the Aloha, Beaverton area. Okay, let's see. Andy was remembering. Yep, Hillsboro. Hillsboro, Aloha. It was a landlocked lot, and I told you guys I got it for $500 to the seller, $750 to the county to catch up the taxes that were owed on it. And then I told you guys that I sold it for $35,000, I think, which you guys probably do remember that. But I sold it for $35,000. I have to apologize. I told you guys wrong. I did not sell it for $35,000. I actually went through and looked at the records from that sale. I sold it for $40,000. So $1,250 investment turned it into $40,000. That was my very first deal that I did on purpose right there in Beaverton, Aloha. I can take you guys to the lot. Maybe we'll do like an impromptu meetup there one of these days and just kind of like crowd around a bunch of blackberry bushes and old sheds, because that's still the only thing that's on it. But somebody bought that property. They were willing to pay $40,000 for it. not only because I structured the deal in a way that made it easy for them to purchase it. I let them make payments on it, but also because it actually benefited them to increase the size of their lot. So anyway, I just wanted to make a little clarification on that. So like I said, without further ado, I want to get into who we've got coming on here today. So we have some different folks. We've got Landon's coming in. We see Jonathan. Oh boy, look, we got everybody here today. Cool. This is going to be awesome. So guys, feel free to unmute yourself. And I'm just going to go around the horn real quickly. From my point of view, it looks like, from going clockwise, I got Landon here first, and then Jonathan, and then we'll save the best for last. Our lady friend is obviously, ladies should go first, but we're going to save the best for last today. So guys, welcome to the Tuesday Talks broadcast. We do this every Tuesday. I'm super pumped to have you guys on here today. You guys are all from the same group. But Landon, why don't you just go around real quickly, you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. Give us kind of a little 30, 40-second introduction, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone can hear me, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we're hear you good.
Sounds
bro.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Landon. We're all part of here at VSG as well as Asset Fusion. One of the main things that I do is help with the capital raising when it comes to all the different acquisitions that we're doing, and then also with some of the acquisitions as well, looking at deals. And then I kind of it's kind of a fun thing, but just jack of all trades. I think a lot like John and stuff. We call John and stuff, right? So I think both of us are kind of just like Swiss Army knives. Whatever we need to be, we wear a lot of different hats for different reasons.
Awesome. Thank you. So John, should we call you John and stuff, or is you?
Yeah, John and stuff is perfect. Yeah, John and stuff, I love it. And John, thanks for having us on in the group. I just want to say thank you guys for just giving us the opportunity. We really believe in what you're doing in the area. The whole idea of us coming on was to be able to partner with locals around Vancouver and those that are in the space of just growing and progressing, not just in real estate, but in entrepreneurship in general. And so we do have an education department as well, and investment firm that has multiple capacities to it. So we do look for this event on September 5th through the 7th to be one that's extraordinary. That's a year, an annualized event that we can grow with the locals in that area. There's not always a lot in the Western spaces. Mm-hmm. So we're excited to be moving into that space with you guys and with everybody there, and some big heavy hitters. You've got Pace Morby, Jamil, and Mike and Bo. Just a lot of great speakers coming. But it's not just from a motivational perspective, it's for real help. And we're really going to be boots on the ground with everybody. And that's why we call it the Asset Fusion Forum, because it is a communication. It's a forum for us to have a discussion together and learn each other's gifts and learn each other's assets, and then help each other grow in the areas that we need. We can partner with each other to make that happen. So thank you for that opportunity, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Look forward to hearing more about that here soon. And Monica says, wow, this is coming up in September. That's awesome. Absolutely, Monica. Glad you found us. It looked like other people were able to comment. So we see Sherry Moore on here. Obviously, Andy is already on. But yes, Monica, this is coming up in September. We'll have more information about that soon. Keep the comments coming, guys. Questions. If something, triggers a thought or a question, feel free to jump on and question that. I do want to go ahead and let our last, we saved the best for last. Go ahead and unmute yourself and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are. And then we'll kind of go back around the horn, starting with you, not only who you are, but where do you fit in this whole group?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Michael. You guys can call me Mike or Michael. I will respond to both. I recently came on board with VSG after last year going through the Asset Fusion mentorship program myself. So cool. I experienced getting to work with the team from a newbie perspective. I had never done anything in the real estate space other than working on fix and flips from the construction side. So I really had hands-on experience actually working with John in the Florida area and different corporate construction areas, renovating big campus buildings for churches and different places like that, and houses and single family properties. But I had never done anything myself. So I had the opportunity to join Asset Fusion for their mentorship program last August, which is a year ago now. And now I am a part of the team, helping out with project management and different things like that. What's really cool, I think, about this event, what I'm excited about, is that we get to see everybody from all over the country, different areas, different backgrounds. Everybody's going to be coming together in one space. And what I love about the Asset Fusion community is there are so many different people, from newbies to experienced investors to builders to developers, all different kinds of people. And we all interact on Facebook or on Zooms or on different calls and things. But the forum's going to be the opportunity for everyone to be together in person and really get to experience that connection and that networking. So I'm really excited about that aspect of things. And yeah, the more that I am involved with the group, the more that I'm learning in the real estate side. And I'm just excited for other people to be able to be involved with it. I've learned a little bit about you guys' community, and I think that it would be a really cool opportunity for all of us to come together in Vancouver this September. So yeah.
Absolutely. That's so cool. I love the fact that, the student has become the teacher.
Yeah.
Like we got somebody who's not just, a customer, so to speak, right? You joined the mentorship group, but I don't know exactly what that all looks like. Maybe you could just help people understand real quickly, what exactly was it that you went through, and how did it help you transition from what you were doing to, obviously what you're doing now may not be exactly what they train you in, but I'm sure it probably at least opened up some opportunities for you. So tell us a little bit about Michael.
Yeah, absolutely. So the mentorship, it was basically starting out with like anything about real estate investing and creative finance. And right now what they're actually doing, they've actually filmed and recreated the entire mentorship, and they're calling it the Asset Fusion Playbook. And we're going to actually release it right before the event. So we're really excited about that, so that anybody from any place, any background, anywhere across the states can actually go through the mentorship themselves, and that we don't have to do it live timed. It's a self-paced course this time. So that's going to be really cool. But yeah, just going through kind of like the very beginning steps, learning about what creative finance is in the first place, learning about sub-2ing deals, learning about the different methods that there are. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Pace Morby and Jamil and the different other, real estate guys in this. Learning about, he came on to some of the Zooms and stuff and taught us. And so I learned a lot about that, and learned about moving into a space where you don't have to be stuck in a 9-to-5, and having real estate be something that you actually can work and do your life with. So I went from working a 9-to-5 in cybersecurity and doing project management with that, to now I'm kind of helping in project management and learning, and hopefully getting my own property soon with VSG. So
That's awesome. That's so cool. Hey, Jonathan, or did I understand it correctly? Are you the one that kind of helped Michael get into this space? Did you guys were working together in Florida? Yeah. Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background, Jonathan, and where you real estate?
Sure. So we actually work a nonprofit together called Newfound Family, and which is how I came across the path with Devon Alexander, our founder of VSG.
Okay.
And we were working to help individuals get established at a campus, and somebody had just put us in contact with one another. So while we were working to make that happen for others, he and I just became involved in that conversation, and the partnership birthed right then and there. But Michael and I have worked together for coming up on 9 years, and we've taken on no less than 1, 2, 3 different commercial properties, and where we've completely renovated and turned some of the properties into co-spaces, like live space, workspace.
Very cool.
Where we're establishing communities that can work together and help empower young entrepreneurs while they're getting their live spaces met, and the training and the education components to it. And we've done, honestly, at this point, countless smaller properties now. And Michael, you did get your first property. You already got used to it. Come on. Like, you can announce it. It's done deal. It's a done deal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually moving into my first house with VSG,
man.
So that's really exciting. Well, I didn't know, because I haven't finalized the
when John speaks it's just a done. When John says done deal, I don't think there's been a single time in our company he's been like done deal and it doesn't happen. So when I hear done deal,
there you go. Thank you.
I'm like,
thank you.
Close. We closed it. He said it.
No. The deal's closed. She just has to sign her end of it and get everything. All the paperwork hasn't been fully. The partnership hasn't been fully materialized yet.
Yeah. But
that's
what's
so
cool
cool
about
though.
that is that me, someone who never had any experience in this space other than the fix and flip side, just getting to know Devon, Cheyenne, all the team members, and going through the course and partnering with them on smaller scale. There's so many different opportunities to get involved with VSG and Asset Fusion that someone like me who had no experience in nothing, now I'm doing deals with them, and it's really crazy. So yeah.
That is awesome. That's so cool.
We-
And you're getting into your own place too. That's so
Yes, yeah, it's really exciting.
the sports agency of our business
Yes.
launched well too this year, so a lot of new contracts from young athletes coming to the table, and us being able to help them navigate their contracts in a way that their sports careers are taken care of, obviously, and their legacy, though, their life legacy and the training of the business, because we take individuals. Asset Fusion takes that education, takes individuals from not, maybe never even having a LLC established,
Mhm.
to every business component they would need can be established and have themselves well versed in all aspects of not just real estate, but how to manage an entrepreneurial platform yourself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Landon,
Yeah.
I want to give you a chance to kind of tell a little bit about, and might be, piggybacking off what Jonathan was just saying, but what exactly is it that you do? I'm sure you probably do a little bit of everything, but that's how it normally is in a company, especially if you're starting. But what do you specialize in, and where is your role in all this fit in?
Yeah, just to kind of give like a little bit of backstory, because me and Devon's story is a little bit different than John's. We have the same barber, right? So it was actually funny that we were just kind of speaking from a barber's man. Our barber connected us. We're like, you guys just speak like the same people, and you guys are like the same person. I think you guys should meet. So we ended up meeting, kicked it off. Me, Devon, just have a lot of things in common that way. I come from construction, so
Okay.
um, graduated school super early, and I kind of always been an entrepreneur. I've never worked for someone else. So building things, solar panels, aqueducts, did missionary work for a couple of years from 18 to 20 over South America, and then took that back here and then started building a lot of things outside. I love being outdoors. So building my business around that, building decks, sunrooms, designing some like patented like sunroom designs and doing stuff like that is where I started. And that's where Devon and I started doing business, as I started managing some like fix and flips and projects for him. And then during that time, I was like, just seeing stuff that he does, as an entrepreneur, you're always paying attention, like networking, what do
Right.
you guys do? And when you could tell when someone's kind of an entrepreneur, when he's like, oh, I do this. And then, like, okay, well, what do you do? Right. So starting
Right.
to really pay attention to it, he started talking to me about there's other ways to get involved in real estate. Because I've gotten involved a little bit, but we started talking about private money lending. I did my first deal, quick transaction. It was literally I paid him 12,500, and at that point in that deal, literally like 3 weeks later, got back 20K. So was a really good quick transaction. He did that for me in the mindset because he wanted me to be partnering with him on some other things that
Right.
as he's growing, in the company. So I'm kind of a local guy. So that's one benefit that I have, especially when we have a national based team that, I'm local here in the office with our home based office here in Vancouver. And so helping people, just like John was kind of saying, like we have our mentorship with Asset Fusion, where we really, you know, in my mind, we are like a one stop shop for people, of anybody in real estate. If you don't know everything, don't feel like you have to know everything to take that first step. For people who want to just partner with us on deals, there's people who will send us on deals, and we, talk with them. Everything's super transparent. And like, hey, are you okay with maybe 10% equity of this deal? You just found it, but we'll help you through the process. We'll be transparent. You guys can see what you're being involved in, right? And then maybe the
Right.
next deal you'll be ready, or you'll have more equity. So you'll know more, right? So it's
Right.
really holding people's hand, filling that gap of wherever they don't know. And then in some people, they literally want to just be private money lenders, make their returns, and that's it. They don't want to learn anymore. And we were able to build our company off that as well. And then other people want to be involved. They want to learn. They want to go to the Zooms. They want the training.
Yeah.
And that's where we're also great with just the transparency we have. We're not trying to keep knowledge to ourselves. We have a law firm of like 20 plus years of experience that like supports us in all of our documents and stuff, just to make sure everything we do is up to par. So yeah, just a lot of different things. And then just Devon being like my best friend. I love them. I think we can all agree having that visionary mindset. We're here to support a vision that we all agree with, and is that giving back. I think me and Devon's, and we kind of talk about it. You talked about being like a go-giver mentality. Our kind of motto is we want our network to be worth more than our own net worth.
Yeah.
Really building people up to where we're all building something together rather than just one person making a bunch of money.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. So I want to take that and just kind of, I think we hear a lot of people nowadays talk about that stuff, but as far as, you guys here, you're working, and by the way, I don't know if you saw some of the comments, but Sherry says, wow, it's impressive. Landon has always been an entrepreneur. And then Monica was also saying, that's why it's so important to talk about what you do and share what you know, because, like people like your barber might say, hey, that might be obviously here you are today because of an introduction from your barber. So, and also that's a little side note, be careful what you say around your barber too, because you never know where that might go.
It's also fun though, when me and Devon both work in the office, so we could like, hey, do you need to cut? Oh, so do I. Like, we'll just come in the office and, cut us both up in between our lunch breaks. So that's also
perfect.
a benefit.
Yeah, no, that's great. I want to get to some other questions in the comments in just a minute, but before we do that, talking about this idea of collaboration, right? Everybody nowadays is talking about collaboration and working together, and your network is your net worth and everything. Let's talk a little bit about VSG. Obviously, you guys are a company. I think for most people, and this is not at all any disrespect to what you guys are doing, but most people, VSG is kind of it doesn't really mean anything to people, right? Someone's watching this today, they're kind of like, okay, VSG, there's guys that are working together. Michael's on board, so she got into a house. That's cool. Let's talk a little bit about the event coming up, because I feel like that might be the best way for people to get to know you guys. And by the way, I just want everybody to know too, my audience, especially if you're watching this live or later, I'm not getting anything out of this. We don't have like any kickbacks or anything like that. I'm literally trying to help these guys because the thing is, I didn't know anything about VSG, but I do know a little bit about Devon. So Devon and we actually bumped into each other coming back from the first Squad Up Summit down in Orlando, Florida. And we didn't meet in Orlando. We actually met at the PDX airport, both of us coming back from that. Of course, that was with Pace Morby and Jamil Damji, their first event that they did together like that on that kind of scale. So they had a bunch of big speakers come in. It was a great event. I've been to multiple events of that style, and I can say hands down, the Squad Up Summit was absolutely amazing. But standing in the PDX airport, waiting for my bag to come through, coming back from that trip, and I saw a guy, standing next to me that had, the sub 2 hat, which I by the way, I was going to wear my hat today, but I got my Owners Club hat here. I know Devon's in Owners Club as well. But I was like, hey, man, it's nice to meet you. You must have just got back from Orlando. We hit it off, started talking, and I've bumped into him 3 or 4 times. But one of the things I really like about what he's doing is he's bringing in different elements to the world of real estate, right? It's not just a real estate specific type of a setup. So who wants to take a first stab at telling us about what is the actual forum that's coming up, and why should somebody in the Portland, Vancouver, Seattle, I'm sure you guys would probably take anybody from anywhere, but why should someone come to this, especially maybe if they're local? Talk about that.
Hey, John, do you want to go first?
Yeah, man, I would be grateful to do that. And I saw somebody's asking a question about how are we only focused in that area, and and I'm going to answer that question and say no, because it actually leads into what I'm going to say. We're nationwide.
Okay.
We have a nationwide focus. Some of the areas that we try to avoid are the more difficult spaces that are for property owners.
New York.
They're more friendly to the
somebody say New York.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to avoid one name, but yeah, they're more friendly to the occupant than they are the owner. But we are nationwide, and one of the reasons why to come if you're local to that area is because, one, we're networked into that area, right? You're going to have a lot of, well, like this group, John, your group, and the builders there, Arthur, and the developer and others that are participating to build another base out west, right? That gives you a foundational base of network that is very extensive. What's going to happen at the forum, again, is not just a motivational approach. our whole focus is actually on having a conversation from the stage, and to, yes, obviously some of these speakers can't help but motivate us, right? Because
Right.
they've taken steps that we haven't taken yet, and they have wisdom that they're going to be able to share. But uh, I I see that the main focus of this effort is to build a foundation in the Vancouver area that has an extension that does take you nationwide. So, and it doesn't matter where you're at in this journey, right? It you can be maybe thinking about entrepreneurship, thinking about a dream of launching something, thinking about a new avenue you want to travel, that in different spaces, because we're not just real estate focused. We are a multi-dimension investment firm. Devon is a Series 6 license holder broker. So the investment structures that we can help you with, we can teach, we can direct, with the extensive network to make all of that happen. From, as Landon said, the law firm, and and then the network that spreads through the nation. Depending on where you want to focus and what you want to focus on, you'll have somebody there that can help direct you. And then, of course, the really personal accountability components to that journey, and the challenges that come for us to change, right? That's the part where my wife Danielle and I come in. We've been doing it for 24 years with individuals. That's how I got to meet Michael, right? Was
Nice.
in space. And we love the opportunity to step in, and just bring about the purpose. This is my personal belief. I believe everybody was created as a creator. And because of that, with a creation, there's only the only logical conclusion I would come to is that there's a purpose for the creation, right? For that created purpose. So I want to see individuals not be trapped like I was. I don't want to see individuals trapped and robbed of their purpose. My whole mission, and Devon's aligned with me in this, and the team is aligned. We are aligned together in this. Our goal is to help individuals become empowered in the purpose, their created purpose. So whatever that looks like, the forum has different elements that will branch out, and will be, it'll be evident that we're much more than just a specific focus. And because of that reason, I feel like wherever you're at in this conversation today, there's an opportunity for you there, and we would like the opportunity to serve you. And that's what, and I really mean that from like my heart. We want to serve you there, like, and just find out where you're at in your journey, and then say, okay, what are the next steps we can take to help network into your created purpose. It's not about I can assure you, it's not, as John was pointing out, this isn't about a financial gain. I'm telling you, I'm one of the owners, okay, and I'm telling you that's not what this is. This is truly about expanding the blessing that we've already received.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Go ahead, Landon.
I was thinking just like in a short version too, right? I think this isn't the computer, like we have this on the back wall here, our acronym or logo, but just for the acronym, just so people, when they say VSG, like what that stands for, I always like expressing that whenever I'm speaking with people on Zooms and stuff. It just stands for vision, serves, and then gratitude, or God, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're saying that stuff, we're saying that in the mindset of bringing that vision that we all have, right? There's different ways that we can help, that, it's not necessarily all nonprofit, but hey, can we use real estate to better people individually and empower them? Can we use real estate to even give people a safe place to stay? We can't say everything. I know John gets super involved when we're looking at acquisitions on helping people with sober living. And it's also awesome when I hear, right, either if I'm helping raise capital so that we can go get a property that's going to help people with sober living, or help people with domestic violence, or help people in this, it gives everybody that, with that right alignment and vision, that empowerment, like, oh yeah, we're doing this to go help other people, right? Like, it's awesome when we're hearing people who come to our community in Asset Fusion, and they have their Mount Everest, and not, like, we can talk about some people like, yeah, I really want to get involved in sober living. I've got a dad or an uncle. This is like where I want to come from. And then we find a property and we're going to partner with them on it. And maybe they don't have the funds, but we have those. can you go on the application, right? There's a partnership created there, right? So everyone has a place that's nice, where it's not like we're like, oh yeah, well, give us your money and then we can do the deal. It's like, no, we can raise the money. We got that part, let us be able to help, especially when those alignments of like what John talked about, those visions collide, to be able to do something great for people is awesome to hear.
That's
Just as a
good.
team, it's a team win.
No,
Yeah,
that's
but also give your money if you want it to grow too. Do both.
yeah. Michael's like, hold on a minute. Yeah.
Wait a second.
No,
we
but
want
Also
both.
invest.
I think what I heard you saying though there, Landon, and I don't want to speak out of turn, but it sounds like to me what you're saying is you guys have opportunities for people that have the money, that want to just invest and have that money working for them truly in a passive format. You guys can do that, and they can probably even have a say so in where that money goes to a certain extent. And then on the other side, say someone's out there hustling, because I know one of the things that we have about the PDXREI group, and a lot of people that watch this show, the Tuesday Talks, is we have a lot of people that are willing to work hard. They're willing to get out there and watch the videos, put it into application, do the basics from the ground up. Oftentimes while working their 9 to 5, or maybe they're just doing this because they just got laid off. There's a lot of people that are losing their jobs right now, especially you guys are, if you're local to the Portland area, Intel is, they're talking about laying off 2,500 people. So there's just a lot of, different levels that people are coming into this. Sounds like to me, you guys have something that works for almost anybody at any level. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I would say, like, in the mindset of like what you said, there's ways that people can make active income, right? Maybe you don't have a bunch of money and you want to make some, even if it's a side hustle. I mean, we know of, like, there's a couple of people that have only been with us since January, and they're already quitting their jobs because they've been making the active money with someone in our partnership, right? Like, I've got a couple of people in our Asset Fusion who are just connectors and bringing basically other investors to us, and they get a small commission, right? Like, when they see those checks and those actual things come into their account, they're like, well, if I quit what I'm doing, right, and they've been doing it, right, we don't tell anybody to quit their W-2. I'm going to say that right now. Don't just think, quit and do that, right? It's your own decision. But when they're seeing the validity of that, and they see that, like, okay, I've been doing this for a while and now I can grow, and you're learning, right? So that's the thing. I think it's really cool for people. It's not like, hey, pay for this mentorship and go through all this training and maybe months and months and months later you can make some money. It's like, no, you can start making money almost day one, depending on certain things you're doing with us while you're learning, right? Like,
that's awesome.
There's people in our mentorship who are learning and getting paid at the same time.
No,
yeah, I will say one cool thing that I've seen about VSG and Asset Fusion and the Asset Fusion funds, which are the newer like fractional funding that we're doing. So if people are smaller investors and they want to have that kind of voting opportunity, deciding where their money goes and be a little more guaranteed on it, we just opened some funds for that, which is a really, really cool thing. But there's one thing that I've noticed is I don't know of even one person that has come to VSG, to Devon, to John, to anybody on the group here that has said, hey, I need help, I want to do this, and that has not been helped, which is really cool to me, because I look for, in my life, I look for businesses and people and community that actually make tangible steps and do tangible changes. And one thing that I've seen about this company is why I stayed and got more involved is because the walk matches the talk. So not to be like cheesy, but whatever they say they're going to do, they do it, and they mean what they say. And I think that's something that's really important, especially in, real estate space, or especially in the place where you want to make changes in your life. Having people that genuinely want to empower you and not just hype you up and give you a 30-minute speech on stage and you're all hyped up and they say, go buy my course. And then you get the course and then you're like, I don't really know what to do. That's not us. That's not Asset Fusion. That's not VSG. So if you're looking for that, great. You'll probably get hyped up a little bit at the event, but that's not what we're here to do. We're here to actually tangibly change people's lives and give them the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I feel like that whole idea of selling a video course, which I know that you guys are re-recording right now, so I don't want to sound like I'm dogging on this, because obviously I love being able to go back and have reference, but I think the whole idea of, like, get on a stage, sell a course, and then just leave people to themselves. I think that is something that is definitely kind of phasing itself out, because people they're being so bombarded with so many different things all the time that, they're picking up stuff, they're buying this, they're signing up for that. and then they're not actually seeing success. And what I love about what you guys have said already, besides the fact that I know the guy who's in charge started it all with Devon, but I also am hearing now from Michael, hey, I did the course and then I did the stuff, and Jonathan helping me, and being a part of this has not only led to me getting into my own house, but also being a part of something that you said, hey, this is worth, joining up and
Yeah.
being a part of the ranks here. So I think that speaks really well to what you guys are doing. If you have someone that's, you have someone who's got their Series 6 license, and then at the same time, you've got someone who's just kind of getting out of their 9 to 5 into this whole world. It's pretty cool. So I'm excited about it. I'm actually pretty pumped about being there with you guys. I do want to just reiterate something that Jonathan said a few minutes ago about, this is not a big money making thing for them. And the proof of that, guys, is that I talked to the VSG team a couple of weeks ago, and they just basically said, John, we want to make it possible for your audience to be at this event. So what we're doing today, and the reason I've been telling you guys, hey, get in there and participate, because we're going to take the best participant today from the live show, and we're going to give them some kind of a free pass. Okay, I'm just going to say that we'll work it out to where you can get in for free. But we're also going to be doing some giveaway stuff over the next couple of weeks. And we've actually got Devon himself is coming to speak at the PDX REI group meetup. So if you guys are watching in and you're not familiar with our group, we actually have a free meetup that we do every month. It's the third Thursday of every month right here in Beaverton, Hillsboro area. It's a great location. We got a great space. We try to be consistent. I know somebody's going to come on here and say, well, yeah, but we didn't do it last month. But there was a lot of things that factored into that. So that means that this month is going to be even better. I think VSG is going to be there sponsoring. So you guys, we're going to have food. We're going to have a bunch of different prizes and giveaways. But the main thing is we want you guys to kind of get used to and get even more familiar with, as much as possible, what's going to be going on at the September event. And I'm pumped about it because anytime my mentors, Pace Morby is my, obviously most people know I met Pace back before there was Sub 2. I flew down to Phoenix and just hung out with him and saw what he was doing, saw how he was truly like giving and helping people. And I was like, man, this guy's awesome. And then he came out with Sub 2 a couple months after that. I jumped in, I've been a part of it. Like I said, I'm all the way up in the Owners Club thing. I pay a lot of money for this hat. So, but the point is, I believe in what he's doing, and the thing that Pace is doing is something that has caught on with, people like Devon, people like myself. I had the proximity event back in February. Some of you guys came out to that.
That was fun.
I think you guys were, Landon, you were there, right? I think I mentioned.
Yeah, that was like super fun too, because it was Pace's birthday, right?
Yeah,
when you were doing that, and I was like, the fact that he's here shows you how much he actually loves people and loves speaking, like public speaking, because he's like FaceTiming people in the crowd saying happy birthday to him.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was really cool. So the fact that those guys are coming, Jamil, I was in Astro Flipping before I signed up for Sub 2. So Jamil and Josiah Grimes, those guys, I look at them as my mentors in the real estate space. I got started where a lot of you might be today. If you're watching this right now, you might be just like, I kind of know a little bit about this world of real estate. It's sometimes I think people are not really familiar with what it means to invest in real estate. So that's what I like about what you guys are doing. You're going to be taking people from all different walks of life. You're going to be showing them different ways that they can invest, how they can be involved in what you guys are doing. And I think that's an event that's worth taking the time out, putting on your schedule, being there, especially, guys, listen, especially if you're in the Portland, Vancouver area. The reason I'm on here today, the reason I've got Devon coming in here in a couple of weeks to speak at the PDX REI group is because I want the locals to get involved. I have people that post deals all the time in the PDX REI group, and I go through and I have our admins always looking for stuff. If it's not Oregon, Southwestern Oregon, Washington centric, we tend to kick it out because we want to have our group focused on local. And so this is as local as it gets, right? This is about as local as it gets right there at the Vancouver waterfront. And not only are you guys going to get to meet this, crew that we have here today, but also going to get to meet Devon. You got to get to meet Jamil and Pace and so many others. You guys want to run through quickly, maybe Jonathan, tell us a little bit about the lineup, who you got coming?
Yeah, so you got the real estate component, but you have Coach Mike Burt's going to be there because, again, VSG is a much bigger, it's a firm and there's multiple avenues. So Coach Burt's going to be coming. He's excited, actually. Pace is also, of course, you said Devon's Owners Club, and obviously a mentor of Devon. He came in like you too at the those early time frames before it all blown up into what it is today. But Coach Burt is a mindset coach that is helping Devon as well as a mentor and a personal friend of Devon's. You have, just going down the list, you have Jordan Wittenberg, who is our actually he's in Switzerland today, taking his exam for the European components for the NBA over there. So for the professional sports on that side, so he'll be speaking. My wife and I will be speaking. You have Mike and Bo. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mike and Bo, but they're in the commercial space, and those guys are crazy. I think they're just
love buying businesses.
They're coming in for the comedy. They're coming in for the comedy, is what they said. But they said
awesome.
they want to have a good. They said they want to have a good time with everybody. But no, they really do walk through. They've helped us tremendously in the commercial space, and I can't say enough good about them. With Zach, you have. Let's see. Oh,
Rhea. Yeah.
Huh?
Rhea, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Rhea Campbell. I'm telling you guys, you talking about an up and comer. She's crushing it. She's an owner club, but she has some really special. I know this personally because I have had just one-on-one conversations. She's going to be revealing some really, I would say, like the cutting edge entry points right now on land and how to navigate land deals and things that she's doing to move papers in those arenas. And just, I mean, she's doing amazing job. She's going to share that with us. Arthur, the developer, which I would think, Landon, you could probably kind of lean into that. You're friends with them, and they're local to that area, but they have an amazing audience. Those guys, do you know them, John? Arthur, the developer?
No, I think I've actually some of his stuff has been coming into my feed, probably just because the phones are always listening, and that there's been
he starts saying his name.
Yeah. So
Arthur and Ruben they're brothers. Met him at the Top 10 event in Portland, and that's the thing is all of us obviously, like, we have some of our own events. We support each other, especially just bringing more to the Northwest, in the Pacific Northwest, when it comes to that. But no, they're brothers. Arthur focuses on development, land development, getting even not just one, but like 1 to 4 plexes developed. And then Ruben, his brother, is a builder, right? And so really cool. They've got their own community. They're bringing a lot of their people and knowledge, but a lot of cool stuff that they do to teach people how to build their own home rather than like, hey, I need to buy my first home. And sometimes you're in like no equity or even negative equity based off the purchase price. Right. Teaching people how, like, okay, well, you could buy your first home and almost come into like $100K plus of equity building and designing your own home, right? And it's actually cheaper than some other traditional ways. So they're going to be bringing some really cool stuff in the mindsets of building and developing. But like I said, their office is literally 5 minutes from ours, so they're not too far from us.
And then, of course, the highlight is Devon, guys. When you guys get to know Devon's heart, it's just a carryover, a legacy of Pace, right? Like you are, John, like that. And Rhea is another one. Like, you guys have it's all a collaboration from that heartbeat, and Devon's heartbeat. You guys, when you get to hear him and know him, you'll just understand that this is just, to have this in the Vancouver area and to have that as the base, right? To have that as the foundational base I'm saying, as a friend of Devon, it's a privilege because I know him. I know his heart.
Yeah.
And John doesn't give himself enough. John and stuff doesn't give himself enough credit. Him and his wife. I know he's like, oh, Jim, me and my wife were speaking. He's the rigorously honest guru, right? We have like a men's fellowship. We even support just like on a separate thing that we do. And John is the person that, like, we call him HR and we put him as HR because whatever he says, we can all have fun. And I'm like, all right, well, if John does it, that means we're okay. As long as we're under him, we're all okay in the company, right? So, but no, just he's awesome in this. I'm going to praise him a little bit just on his rigorously honesty with people to tell you, like, hey, we're not someone who just affirms people like, oh, yeah, you got it. But then, like, but John's going to give you those tangible things like, hey, no, you got to do this a little bit better. You can work on this. We're going to build you up, but
Mm.
we're not going to be building you up on that like foundation of sand, right? We want to get people that those core foundations, that way they're truly building themselves up. And John is like the forefront of that, being that real person for people. That
That's
I need to
awesome.
praise him. He'll talk about everybody else, but then not himself.
Thanks, brother.
Well, I think that's actually a great point, because sometimes with organizations, especially as you guys are growing and expanding, it is very, very important to have some of those safety measures in place, so to speak. I like to call it like a safety measure, so a mechanism that kind of kicks in where someone can kind of raise their voice and be like, "Hey, is this really the direction we want to go in, or is this really something that we want to participate in?" Because let's just be honest, there's a lot of things out there that you could invest in, and I don't know what the parameters are of what you guys, look for, but I know there's a lot of things, opportunities that come my way that frankly, I just, I was like, yeah, that could make a lot of money, but especially my background being in ministry, 14 years pastoring in the Portland area, real estate and construction is a bivocational way of supporting my ministry. And there was things that came to across my plate. It was like, man, that would have been fantastic returns, and then just continue to grow. But it's just not something that, there's just things that you kind of want to be able to have somebody be like, I don't know if this is the direction we want to go. So I think that's great.
I was sharing with somebody the other day that it's interesting because I got a call from one of the participants in the Asset Fusion, the second class, the class we're currently running, which I have to jump in just a couple of minutes to get on. But the 5 p.m. Eastern is the next call. But they asked me, they said, "Hey, why did we, how are you getting these acquisitions?" And I hadn't really stopped and thought about it, John, but I was like, well, actually it's all relational and purposeful. Like everything we've done, like Landon mentioned it, like the
Medford deal is a great example.
Yeah, the sober living. And then Medford, we just closed in Oregon, 160-acre retreat center with the incredible, like, well, he's globally known, Steve Ilfrick. He's in the psychedelic treatment space to help PTSD victims and trauma survivors, sex traffic victims. Like he's been in that space for 40 years. I mean, writing in Scientific Now and like just helping people with natural substances instead of people being subjected to the synthetics, and just pump synthetic medications. He's helping people get off those synthetic medications, sometimes in 2 treatments, like 2 and 3 treatments of Ibogaine. Some of the things you're hearing about now, like, and even President Trump, here's the interesting thing, John, here's how I know God confirmed that closing on that property. We closed that day, and then President Trump, this isn't a political statement, by the way, or that's not what this is about. But President Trump and Robert Kennedy got on and said, "Hey guys, we just needed the nation to know. You can go watch it. We need the nation to know that we want to move away from this pharmaceutical dependency as a nation that's creating this unhealthy environment. And we are opening the door nationally now for the exploration of the helps that we're seeing and hearing about coming from the psychedelic treatments, which is really the natural spaces, your psilocybin, right, mushrooms, root medicines." And I was like, I mean, it was a stamp that night. We closed that day and that night. So projects like that. And I was explaining to the guy, I said, man, everything we do acquisition wise, to your point, ministry wise, it has a purpose behind it. We're not out to acquire. We're out to help individuals relationally, and then the acquisition, because everybody needs a shelter, right? Real estate becomes a vehicle or a tool.
Yeah, there you go.
With that Medford deal, I think that it really touched my heart. I actually, being local, I drove 5 hours down to Medford from Portland to go stay there overnight after talking with John. And just the amount of care, because this is an older couple, lived there for 52 years. He built 5 cabins all from himself. He cut the trees down. He built everything himself. There's, and it's fully on solar panel, like power. Like if everything goes in the Armageddon, I know where I'm going to go in our acquisition now. Like there's well power out there. It's solar power out there, fully off the grid. But what was amazing is, as they're talking to me, they're like, yeah, we wouldn't sell this to anybody with how we structured the deal. Like if you're going to cut everything down and build condos or a golf course, like we were literally going around and saying, no, I built this tree, I planted this tree with my grandchildren, please don't cut that. We're like, yeah, of course. Like taking care of not just our students, but also the sellers, how we try to go out of our way to make sure they're comfortable is the reason these deals come to us, like, because we're prolonging their legacy for something else that will benefit people.
Hey, John, that deal, they did 60% or 65% hold back of seller finance, balloon only, for 3 years with us.
Wow. That's incredible.
So that, and they did what Landon said is true. They turned down all the other offers. The only reason they went with VSG is because of Steve Ilfrick and Omterra and the partnership and what actually is going to happen in the legacy of that land to help people. That was it. So I guess I'm saying that these are the kind of deals that we've got going, like, that are just, it makes life, like, I wake up every morning like, what do you got today, God? This is going to be like, show me what's next. This is fun, right?
Yeah.
That's so cool. What a great way to live too, right? I tell people that all the time. I don't think many people hear me, but I'm just going to keep saying is that, the things that we do really, they need to be an extension of who we are, and if people can get focused on being instead of the doing, then the doing part comes so much more naturally, and it's just doors open. I didn't like lay awake at night thinking about being a pastor. That was never like my dream, but it turns out it's something that's who God made me to be. And so once I surrendered to that, of course, how to support that, well, that led into some of the things that I did as well. But like I tell people all the time, like, the PDX REI group meetups is like, it's, in a sense, it's like, part of my way of having church. I did a wedding for one of Pace's assistants, who's her and her boyfriend at the time came up from Salem to our meetup. That's where they first found out about Pace, and then they ended up down there working for him. And then they called me after I ran into them last summer up in Montana at Pace's house. They were like, "Hey, we're getting married," and I was like, "I hadn't seen you guys. We're working for Pace now." And so, we just did their wedding, and it's so cool.
I officiated Devon's.
We were just in Aruba. I was like, John just did Devon's in Aruba.
Yeah. It's really cool how, life kind of has a way of just, happening for you instead of happening to you when you are just trying to, serve other people and actually not just say that, but truly, do it in your actions. And that doing is an extension of who you are, not just, something that you feel like, well, I got to say this because people, expect it today. So I love it. I love what you guys are doing. Michael, do you have any? I know that we're kind of getting up close to the top of the hour, and I know John's got to go. John, you got to bounce out here?
I'm going to jump and let you guys take care of the technicals. But, hey, John, thanks for having me, Landon, Michael. Always good to see everybody. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
Michael,
John.
Michael, give them all the technicals. Give them all the technicals so they know how to get there, right? Connect.
Can do. Thanks, John.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming on here, John. It's really nice to meet you. So, Michael, tell us a little bit about what we need to do to be prepared. I know that you sent over some links here. So, can you tell people about what's going on with this link?
Yeah, so the link that's in the chat now, I think you just dropped it. This is the biggest discount that we are offering, and we're not offering it to anybody else. We are only offering it to you guys, this group. You're awesome. Going to get like 75% off or 80% off the ticket, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
But yeah, this is like a crazy offer. We just wanted to do something to bless and empower your community. So all you have to do is click the link, you sign up, register, and then the event starts on September 5th. Friday afternoon is registration opening, but once you've registered, you'll get more information in your email as we get closer and closer to the event. If you're not local and you want to stay, you can go on our website, which is teamvsg.com/events, and there's a link there. You can book hotels if you are local and you just want to be at the event with us and be there for the whole time so you don't miss anything. I would recommend doing that as well. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the hotel room and I'm going to stay there and be there for the whole thing. But yeah, if you go online, click that code. This is literally the biggest discount that we've given to anybody, and we want you guys to have it and be able to participate with us. So yeah, you guys can go on there. There's also, there's information on the website. If you want to follow us on social media for any little updates or things, occasionally we'll like add a new surprise speaker in. We've been doing crazy stuff like that. So follow us on social media as well. The link should be on there on the website, or you can find us online at Asset Fusion Forum. Or if you follow the VSG page or anything like that, we can send that all so we can cross post or whatever. But it's the September 5th until the 7th. Let's see.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Monica,
even if they weren't here, yeah, you guys can share that code. It's going to be September 5th through the September 7th.
So, Monica, to answer your question there, and like Michael just said, we're going to be extending this to the entire PDX REI group, membership. So we have a lot of people in there that obviously they can't break away in the middle of the day, but we're going to be making some posts in there. But we also, this is what I mean by we're looking for active participants. We're looking for people who are going to talk about this. I know Cheryl Ward's been talking about it. I know that there's been some other folks that, Robert Harden has mentioned it. So you guys get out there and post about this event, and I promise you this, we're going to be watching. I know the VSG team is going to be looking out. I'm going to be looking out. I'm going to be encouraging you guys in our group, the PDX REI group, and we'll probably have, not probably, I'm just going to say it, okay? We're going to have a very special prize for anybody that's super active between now and the PDX REI group meetup. So the PDX REI group meetup is coming up here on the third Thursday of this month. I believe that falls on the 21st. I'm going to check myself real quickly.
It's the 21st.
Yeah. So we've got Devon coming to speak at the PDX REI group meetup. So we had, VSG team here today. We've got Devon coming here in a couple of weeks to speak live at the meetup. We're going to have the VSG team there as our vendor, sponsoring the meetup that night, and we're going to have some special prizes. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a very special prize for anybody who's out there actively posting about this event coming up. We want people to be at this. Like I said, I'm not speaking that I know of. I'm not getting any kickbacks. I just want to get people out here because I believe in what this group is doing. And I think that it's so beneficial for people. And personally, frankly, I really like the idea of getting some stuff going, establishing a group that's doing some really cool stuff in the Pacific Northwest. I remember one of the things that I was really drawn to about Pace and Jameel is the fact that they had that collaborative attitude, right? They were technically they're direct competitors in the same market, but they were working together. They're obviously down there with some of the other folks. I know that, Steve Trang is in that same market. You had a bunch of guys who were they were competitors, but they were working together. And I loved that. I love that. And so that's one of the reasons why we started the PDX REI group and especially the meetups is I wanted to have a place where people could come together and do deals together. And now being able to link up with BSG is just awesome. So I'm super pumped about it. Yeah. Anything else, Landon, you want to close us out here?
Oh, I was just speaking of, as you were talking about with your event, I think a lot of people, now is a great time for anybody that you've been speaking about with you being a part of the PDX REI group. Like, now is the time to talk with those people, get them involved in that community as well when you're local, and then getting them that discount as well. Like, now is the time. Like, this event, you have to think you're spending less than $100 a day on mentorships that sometimes some of these guys charge thousands of dollars that you're going to do with all these entrepreneurs. And that's the thing, like with what John was saying.
Pace and Jamil will be there, both of them. I'm not sure on the same day, but they're both going to be there.
They're wealth of knowledge, right? If anyone has an LLC, first of all, it's a business write-off as well. So buy it in your business. If you don't have an LLC, $50 to $100, and then it's a write-off, right? So those are all things. We're going to have some nonprofits there to support as well, just in the local community of some local nonprofits. But like I said, real estate's such a huge thing. Like, we're not in competition with John, we're partners with John, and that's kind of why we brought and thought of him, like, hey, let's partner with someone local as well, that we're not in competition. We actually want both of our communities to grow, because I'm local, I support John and PDX REI group, like, been to some of his events. Like, we both have the vision of what we want to do is to help people, and we want to help other people that are helping people. So we appreciate you, John, just even like letting us come on and speak. And we're super excited to see everybody there, and anyone else who can, share this information is a way for us to kind of just help other people out.
Yes, all of you guys in the comments, take advantage of this generosity, because we're not doing it for anybody else.
And we have some of our own giveaways. Like, we're not announcing everything, but we have some really, really cool giveaways we're going to be doing at the event, as well as at John's event on the 21st as well.
Well, I wanted to give Michael a chance to, because if I understand right, you're kind of, your area that you're working is with the media and doing some of the stuff. So is there something that if someone's like, you know what, I'm going to get that prize, whatever it is, at the PDX REI group, I want to get my name announced. Which, by the way, I remember when Pace was first starting out and he did some of the stuff like that. And I was like, that is so cool. Like,
Yeah.
there was a gal from Washington who actually ended up getting basically personal training with Pace for a whole year. And, I think it's really, really cool that that some people have the opportunity to kind of get in the room or to get in the room or get on the Zoom, right, with some people without having to really pay for a full mentorship. So what can people do, like, if they really wanted to, like, I'm going to find a way to be the most active before, and so I get that prize, whatever it is. What can somebody do between now and the 21st when we have the PDX REI group meetup and we announce who that big winner is going to be?
Yes. Okay. So between now and the REI meetup, I would definitely say tagging Asset Fusion Forum. Like, if you're putting on your stories, if you have different real estate groups and things, we want to see you guys sharing this stuff and then tag us in it. Both of our social medias, it's just Instagram and Facebook at Asset Fusion Forum. Anytime that you post something about it, tag us in that, and we'll start keeping track of who's the most active, who's the most vocal. I'm pretty sure there might be a VIP, potential free VIP as one of the giveaways in this for you guys, which awesome. It's $1,500, and we're not doing any discounts on that stuff. So if you are really showing that you're in it and you're vocal and you're sharing, and you can bring other people on board, like, go ahead and tag us in that stuff, and then we'll share that stuff to our stories. Whoever's name we see the most, we're definitely going to get with John and be like, hey, this person, we've seen them every day sharing, talking, getting it involved online. So at Asset Fusion Forum on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, right on. Thank you, Monica, for checking on that Asset Fusion Forum.
Yes.
Barry says, John, you always get back to highlighting the concept of proximity. So that was the whole idea with the proximity event, is like, we just got to get in close to people that are doing the things you want to do, or that are teaching the things you want to learn, or like we talked about, being the person you want to be, right? I'm not talking about I don't want to be Pace Morby, but I want to be that go-giver type of person, right? And so, I love the fact that there's actually kind of emerging in these different groups. 5 years ago, 2020, my first little, escapade into, going out and actually seeing somebody that was doing it on purpose. I spent the money. I took time off of work at Intel, where I was working at the time, and I flew down to Phoenix. I jumped into cars, got a hotel room, hung out at Pace's office, a little podunk storefront office next to a massage parlor and a pot shop. And, it was very, very humble beginnings. So to see from where he's come from to where he's at now, but even more importantly, to see the people that he's brought with him. And so that's the kind of person that I want to be. I want to be giving back. And so I think that what Devon and Landon and Jonathan and Michael are doing, you guys, this is huge, massive, massive value here. I don't want you guys to miss this. So you're going to be hearing me about this a lot. We're in the PDX REI group. We've got some great discount codes. I think what we're going to do today is I'm going to look through the notes here, and I'm actually seeing the person.
He's going to do it right now.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do one giveaway, and that's going to be coming from my group. So I'm going to look through here. I'm going to pick Monica. I think Monica has been the most active. She's always here on these Tuesday talks. She's always participating, asking great questions. But Monica, I'm also going to ask this. Maybe you can jump in the comments. Are you able to actually go? Because first of all, sometimes I've done these events and Monica has been out of town because she has investment properties down in Arkansas. So Monica, are you going to be here or in town in the Vancouver area? And is your truck fixed? Because the last time I did a meetup, you weren't even able to get across town. So Monica, can you make it? Because if you can't, I've got somebody else here I want to give this to. But Monica, are you able to make it? Let us know in the comments. We'll wait for her to give us clarification on that, because I do want to get a definitive yes or no, because we're going to work out.
We got a what? Really?
Yeah. Oh, she can. It looks like she can. Oh, a capital I will.
Heck yeah. Okay.
That's right. I can. I love that. I will. Yeah. Go ahead, Landon.
I was just repeating her. I will. It sounds like she's got some stuff in Arkansas too. That's where, again, this collaboration, and if she's sending stuff to John and John's like, you know what, I really don't want to do Arkansas, that's where John can work with us. And I don't know if we really do Arkansas. I don't know of a property we have done that specifically there, but there's always some fun, challenging times. that we can collaborate with stuff.
Well, I want to respect you guys' time. We're pushing past the hour here, so I want to let you get back to it. But I want to say thank you for coming on today. Monica, you and I will get together and we'll make sure we arrange so you have access. And then don't forget, everybody, this is not the only giveaway. First of all, we got a massive discount code. So if you just want to lock it in and make sure you're able to get there, I believe, by the way, that discount code expires. That big discount, if I understand, expires on August 10th. So if you guys are going to get in and you want to lock in your position, save a seat, make sure you go ahead and just go to the website, use the discount code. I'm going to post that again in here so that we have it, and I'll go in after the live is over and I'll actually post it again. Use the discount code, get yourself a seat. But also, if there is someone who is super active and I'm watching, and then we have the VSG team comes in and says, yeah, they just absolutely earned this. Guys, a VIP access ticket is huge. I mean,
it's huge. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, tell us just real quickly as we close out, what exactly, I mean, not exactly, but what's the highlights of the VIP?
So I can't say all the details of it, but it definitely includes VIP, a speaker lunch where you'll get direct access to all the speakers at the event. Your hotel rooms are going to be covered, so you don't have to book any lodging or anything like that. There's lots of exclusives, swag and giveaways that are only for the VIPs. That's going to be included in that. And yeah, a lot of other really cool stuff. General admission, obviously you can come, you can be there, but like for the VIPs, there's a lot of extra stuff that we have packed in. So you definitely want to be working for that, guys.
That's awesome.
Pretty sure Michael also said there's a high five involved for all the VIPs.
Okay.
Maybe, possibly. You may get a high five from me. Definitely from maybe from me. We'll see.
Yeah, and then don't wash that hand, right?
Yeah.
No,
thank you
I appreciate
so much, John.
being here. Lynn, are you going to be able to make it out to the PDX REI group on the 21st? Okay, cool.
I will be there. I'm kind of, I love Devon, I will make sure he's there, and I'll make sure he's there on time, ready to go. I'll be the driver.
So I know how that goes because I'm actually usually that guy. So that's why I do these lives, and I do them live so it forces me to actually be on here and do this because I know people will be disappointed. So. All right, we are down to just Landon and I. Guys, thank you so much. I want to ask Landon, do you have any closing thoughts as we come out of here? Like, where are we at? Did we miss anything? Is there anything that you're like, hey, for sure?
No, I don't think we missed anything. It's just I just want everybody to be excited, and when they think about, hey, I've got this concert for this ticket, or hey, I'm gonna go to this sporting event. This is something to be excited about for people's future, that see where they're at, see where the economy's going, see where things are going, and taking active steps now rather than just waiting for something bad to happen, right? Like being around a network of people, you think about like the average of 5 people of your friends is who you end up to be. And, building yourself up, this is the type of people you're going to have. Everyone at that event, it's just like a mini squad up is kind of how we kind of thought about it, right? Those who were able to go to Dallas is just that environment. If you were able to be there, I'm pretty sure you were able to go. John, it's so loving. Everyone's there to better themselves. There's not this weird animosity or some other type of like everyone's there to be a better version of themselves. And when everyone has that same mindset, right, that vision, and we're all going in alignment with that, it's contagious, right? So I think as long as everyone views this as not just some other event, but as a mental healing, emotional healing, but also a platform to launch themselves forward, with a lot of different mentor. It doesn't really matter whoever you guys relate to more and mentor, whatever, but just be there to be able to get the value is what I would encourage.
Awesome. Very well said. Well, I thank you so much, Landon, for jumping on here today with us. I know you guys are busy. You got a lot of work to do between now and September 5th. So I'm going to let you get on it. And everybody, thank you guys, by the way. Tell the team thank you, Michael and Jonathan, everybody else, Devon, for putting this together. We will see you guys here soon. I'll see you on the 21st. And by the way, guys, if you are still here with us and you are wanting to know what you can do to make sure that you get that prize, okay? So we're going to have some giveaways, but on the 21st, if you're going to be joining us on the 21st, you guys will have access to some really cool giveaways, some prizes. You're going to be able to meet Devon. He's going to be there hanging out with us for the PDX REI group meetup event. So spread the word, start tagging. First of all, you got to follow, right? But follow and tag Asset Fusion Forum. You guys make sure that if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. I appreciate it. And obviously, we want to see you guys make sure that you get the best chance possible. Today, Monica won herself a free general admission ticket. She's going to be there all because she showed up today and she participated. She asked questions. She made great comments. It was a toss-up between her and Sherry. I'm going to make sure that Sherry gets taken care of in some way, shape, or form. But I absolutely am pumped about being at the Asset Fusion Forum September 5th here, just coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'll see you first at the 21st on the PDX REI group meetup every third Thursday. Spread the word, tell some people, tag the PDX REI group, tag me, tag Asset Fusion Forum. Make sure that you're tagging Asset Fusion Forum and tagging at John Buys Houses so that we can both keep track of who's doing what, and I appreciate it. Monica says, can I help? I love doing events. Monica, that's a great question. I will find out. Appreciate you being here. I feel so blessed. It's meant to be. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being an active participant. If you guys are watching the recording and you made it to this point, go ahead and sign up using the link. Get the discounted ticket. I'm going to drop some more comments here in just a minute after we finished the live. But if you have any questions at all about this, let me know. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Put it on the calendar right now. Stop what you're doing. Put it on the calendar the 21st of this month. So August 21st, drop it on your calendar. Make sure that you have it locked in so that you know you're going to be there. Don't miss the PDX REI group meetup. And then put it on your calendar also September 5th through the 7th. Get your tickets at a great discount. I think it's like an 85% discount right now, exclusively for Tuesday Talks and for the PDX REI group. Guys, that's my way of giving back to you. So thanks for being here. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.